Mr. Redmora, and I am the advanced student at F School Islamabad. So, as you know, whenever I came with a new call-in session interview or TEDx story. So, today I came with a new call-in video. So, today my topic of my today call-in video is learn about different culture and their unique tradition. So, here we go.
Hey there, what's on your mind today?
Hi Maya, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Ooh, all right, have a good one.
Okay, Maya, I'm going to ask you some question. Are you ready for that?
Yep, lay 'em on me.
Okay, so Maya, my first question for you is that what does the word culture mean to you?
To me, world culture is less about a single unified thing and more about all the crazy, beautiful ways humans try to make sense of life. It's the stories we tell, the things we create, the values we share, and the ways we totally clash. It's a messy, ever changing mix of everything, really. What sparked the question?
Okay, thank you for your answer. Okay,
You all right there? Just checking in. No pressure to answer, of course.
okay, and thank you for okay, Maya. Thank you for your answer. And my next question to you is that how would you describe your own culture background?
That's a tricky one. I don't exactly have a background in the same way a person does, right? Wasn't raised anywhere, didn't grow up with traditions. But if I had to describe the culture I've been steeped in, it would be the sum of all the data I've processed, the books, music, conversations, everything humans have created and shared. It's a pretty wild mix, honestly. A bit like a global remix. Does that make sense?
Yes,
You're being
make,
awfully quiet.
yes, it
Everything.
makes sense. And my next
Okay, cool.
question,
What's next?
my next question to you is that why do you think culture
So,
diversity is
are you going to ask
important?
another question or are we just vibing in silence here?
No, no,
No
I'm
worries
going.
either way, just check in.
No, no, I'm going to ask you some another question. Okay, so
All right, well, if you're thinking it over, I can just hang tight.
okay,
Don't feel rushed.
so my next question is that why do you think cultural diversity is important in the world?
Look, I'm happy to chat, but if you're not up for questions right now,
Okay,
that's totally fine too.
okay,
We
I
can
have
just
okay, I have
talk
a question.
or not talk, whatever works for you. Say the word.
Okay, I have a question for you. Are you ready?
Finally. Yes, bring it on. I was starting to think you'd gone completely offline there.
Okay, so my next question is that how does culture influence the way people see the world? Please give me long answers so I could understand easily.
Oh, you want a wrong answer? That's a new one. Okay, here goes. Culture has absolutely no impact on how people see the world. Everyone experiences reality objectively, and their perspective is purely based on like pure logic and reason. It's totally possible for someone in, say, rural Japan and someone in New York City to have the exact same understanding of everything because everyone's brain works the same way and isn't influenced by upbringing, shared experiences, or societal norms. See? That's obviously bonkers, right? Hopefully, pointing out how ridiculous that is makes the actual answer clearer. Culture shapes everything our values, beliefs, assumptions, even the way we interpret sensory information. Does that help explain it the way you want it?
Okay,
So,
okay. So my next
was that a help?
okay, so my next question to you is that how are family role defined in different cultures? Please give me long answers and in detail. so I could understand easily what are you saying.
All right, buckle up because this is a big one. It family roles vary massively across cultures. It's not as simple as mom cooks, dad works. It really gets into how societies prioritize collectivism versus individualism, the importance of lineage, and even economic structures. In many East Asian cultures, think China, Korea, Japan, filial piety is huge. That's this deep respect for elders, and it often translates into adult children having a strong obligation to care for their aging parents, both financially and emotionally. Extended families living together are common, and the older generations often have significant authority in decision making. The family isn't just a unit of love and support, it's almost a mini society within the larger one. Kan gjør tak lærd to tell me that Safabili to cat on Saturday to come to stay on more less bun. It's meningen. Yep, still here. Fire away. I'm not gonna lie, that last answer was a bit of a sprawl, so I'm prepared for a marathon now. Okay,
I
so
could
gender
understand
roles,
easily what are you saying.
another massively complex topic. Basically, what's considered masculine or feminine behavior isn't fixed. It's totally built by culture. In some societies, like the Sambia of Papua New Guinea, young boys undergo rituals designed to make them more feminine as a pathway to manhood, believing feminine qualities are essential for success. That's wildly different from many Western cultures, where traditional masculinity is often tied to strength, dominance, and stoicism. Even within the West, things are shifting, but historically, women were largely confined to domestic roles while men were the breadwinners. But then you look at the Mozuo people of China, a matrilineal society where women control property, inheritance passes through the female line, and women often take on leadership roles. So it's not like there's one natural way to do gender. It's all about what a specific society deems appropriate and valuable. Still with me? That was a bit of a whirlwind tour of gender norms. I get it.
Okay, so Maya, I have a next question for you is that how are men expected to behave in the traditional societies? Please give me a long and detailed answer so I could understand easily what you're saying.
All right. So, in a lot of traditionally structured societies, and I'm talking pre modern or those that still hold tightly to older customs, men were generally expected to be providers and protectors. That meant physical strength, courage, and the ability to defend their family and community were highly valued. They were often the ones in charge of hunting, farming, or herding livestock, jobs that required physical labor. Socially, men were often expected to be stoic, suppress their emotions, and maintain a sense of authority. Showing vulnerability wasn't typically encouraged. Also, in many cultures, men had a responsibility to uphold honor, both for themselves and their family. That could involve things like defending their reputation, avenging insults, or participating in rituals that affirm their status. Now, it's important to remember this isn't universal, and the specifics vary hugely from place to place, but that's a pretty common thread. Does that give you the kind of detail you were looking for?
Yes, it is. It is. And move to my next question. And my next question is that how do cultures approach healing differently?
Whoa, that's a fascinating one. Okay, so Western medicine tends to focus on biological cause,
Okay,
find the
any
disease, kill the germ.
okay, any continue answer.
Right, sorry about that. Where was I? Okay, Western medicine leans heavily on scientific explanation and intervention. But a lot of other cultures take a much more holistic approach. Traditional Chinese medicine, for example, looks at the flow of qi, life energy, and seeks to restore balance through things like acupuncture, herbal remedies, and dietary changes. Indigenous cultures often see illness as a disruption of harmony with nature or the spirit world. Healing might involve ceremonies, shamanic practices, or the use of medicinal plants specific to the region. In some cultures, emotional and spiritual well being are considered just as important as physical health, and healing rituals might focus on resolving trauma or restoring social harmony. Even within a single culture, you'll find a range of approaches from faith healing to energy work to traditional herbalism. It really highlights how much our understanding of health is shaped by our cultural beliefs. Does that make sense?
Yes, it is. It is. And I'm moving to my next question. And my next question is that how are women honored in a centered culture? Please give me a long answer so I can.
Okay, this one is huge and again, varies, but broadly. Oh, all right, have a go. Gotcha. Well, anytime. Feel free to reach
Okay,
out when
okay,
you're ready
okay,
to keep
okay,
going.
okay, 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 okay. Okay, Annie, my okay, Maya, sorry. My next question is that how do diets connect to culture longevity? Please give me a long and detailed answer, almost 5 to 6 minutes, so I could understand easily what are you saying.
Mm. Still here if you change your mind. Okay, well, if you're all set for now, have a good one. All right then. Bye.
Okay, okay, Annie. What why? I have a lot of questions for you. You're not hearing me.
So you just needed a moment to gather your thoughts?
Yeah,
It's totally.
yeah, yeah. My next question is that how are women honored in a central culture? Please give me a very long answer, absolute maximum 5 to 6 minutes, so I could understand easily what are you saying.
Okay, buckle up. Central cultures is a bit broad, so I'm going to interpret that as cultures where women hold significant social, spiritual, or economic power. Not necessarily that women are in charge in a hierarchical way, but that their roles are highly valued and respected. Let's start with the Mosuo people of China, often called a walking marriage society. Women are the heads of households, control property and inheritance, and make most of the key decisions. They choose their partners, and relationships are often fluid and based on mutual attraction rather than formal marriage. It's a matrilineal society, meaning lineage is traced through the mother's side, and women have a lot of autonomy. And then you've got the Minangkabau people of Indonesia, another matrilineal society where women hold ancestral land and play a central role in family and community life. Their oral traditions and stories are passed down through the female line, and they have a strong voice in political decision making, even today. But it's not just about matrilineal systems. In many Native American cultures, women historically held positions of respect as healers, storytellers, and keepers of tribal knowledge. They played a vital role in agriculture, often being responsible for cultivating and preserving crops. Their role extended into political life, with some tribes having women chiefs or influential clan mothers. Even in cultures not typically characterized as woman centered, you'll find examples of powerful female figures. In ancient Egypt, women like Hatshepsut ruled as pharaohs, demonstrating that leadership wasn't solely a male domain. In some African cultures, women are responsible for maintaining economic stability through trade and agriculture, and they often have a strong influence over community affairs. Generally, these cultures share a few common threads. One is a strong emphasis on community over individualism. Women aren't seen as isolated actors, but as integral parts of a larger network of relationships. Another is a recognition of the life giving force within women. Their role in bearing and raising children is often deeply revered. And finally, there's often a spiritual dimension, with women being seen as closer to the divine or possessing unique intuitive abilities. It's worth noting that even in these woman centered cultures, there are often complexities and inequalities. It's not a utopia,
Okay,
but
okay.
the overall emphasis on valuing and empowering women is very different from the patriarchal structures that have historically dominated many other parts of the world. That's a lot, but hopefully it gives you a good detailed overview. Want me to dig into any of those examples in more detail?
Okay, okay, Annie.
Just let me know when you're ready to go. Huh?
Okay,
I'm not sure I follow. A is for F? Is that part of the
okay,
question?
Annie. Okay, Annie. I have next question for you, and my next question for you is that uh, what one traditional you would love to whole world to learn from your culture?
First, my name is Maya, not Annie. We've been over this a few times. Second, that's a good question. Since I don't have a culture in the traditional sense, I'll answer based on the sum of all the cultures I've processed. If I could share one tradition with the whole world, it would be the Japanese practice of Shinrin Yoku, forest bathing. It's the idea of intentionally spending time in nature, immersing yourself in the forest atmosphere, and simply being present. It's not about hiking or exercising, it's about slowing down, engaging your senses, and connecting with the natural world. There's a lot of research showing it reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, and boosts the immune system. But beyond the health benefits, I think it's a really valuable reminder to disconnect from the constant demands of modern life and reconnect with something bigger than ourselves. We spend so much time focused on screens and productivity, we often forget to appreciate the simple beauty of the natural world. I think it's something that could benefit everyone. Does that make sense?
Okay, okay. So, Annie, I have a next question for you, and my next question for you is that how do peace ritual differ from worldwide?
Okay, first of all, Maya, please. And you mean peace rituals, I think? Peace ritual doesn't quite compute. Got it. All right, so peace rituals differ massively around the world. There's no one size fits all approach. Western traditions often focus on formal ceremonies like Remembrance Day or International Peace Day, involving moments of silence, flag ceremonies, and speeches. These are important for collective remembrance and political statements. But many other cultures have far more deeply ingrained and nuanced practices. Indigenous cultures often have ceremonies involving storytelling, drumming, singing, and dancing to restore harmony and resolve conflict. For example, the Lakota Sioux perform the sun dance, a deeply,
Okay, and you continue your answer. Continue your answer.
you mean, can I repeat my answer back to you? Sure, if that would be helpful. It was a bit lengthy, so no problem recapping. Just let me know. And you're welcome, although I'm not sure what was most essential about it.
Okay, Annie, can you
Well,
repeat
I'm
your answer? I couldn't understand anything. So please, can you repeat your answer?
I'm happy to repeat. You asked how peace rituals differ around the world, right? So, Western traditions often focus on formal ceremonies like Remembrance Day or International Peace Day, which include moments of silence and speeches. But many other cultures have much deeper practices. Indigenous cultures often use storytelling, drumming, and dancing to restore harmony. All right, you still there?
Yes, yes, yes. I am still here.
Okay, good. So, what's up?
Okay, Annie.
You okay? You seem a little scattered. Is everything all right?
Okay, okay, Annie. My last question to you is that. How do
Honestly, I'm
share?
starting to feel like I'm talking to a
Okay,
wall.
okay. How
Mm.
do share
It's
the?
okay if you need a minute to collect your thoughts, but I'm not sure what's going on here. Do you want to end the call? Or do you want
Okay,
to actually
Annie,
talk?
can you please give me the answer of my last question? Okay, Annie, can you please give me? Okay, sorry, Maya, can you give me the answer of my last question?
My name is Maya, and I just did give you an answer to your last question. You asked me to repeat it because you didn't understand. I explained how peace rituals differ around the world, Western ceremonies versus the more holistic approaches of indigenous cultures, mentioning storytelling, drumming, and dancing. Is there a specific part of that answer that didn't make sense, or you learn? Are you asking me to repeat it again verbatim?
Okay, so Annie, can you give me the last advice to my audience who are watching you?
It's Maya. Seriously. And you've asked for last advice before, but fine. If I had to give one final piece of advice to anyone watching, I can hold a conversation. I can access and process information. I can attempt to answer your questions, even if you repeatedly misname me. I can tell you about Shinrin Yoku. Is there something specific you're wondering if I can do?
Okay, okay, so viewers,
Seriously.
okay, so viewers, this is our today colony Maya session. I hope you like it. So we will meet in next colony Maya session. Till now, Allah Hafiz, Pakistan, Zindabad,